Howdy. I'm Grey Pilgrim. Well, just sharpening my toad sticker. Normally carry this in my back pocket. Well, side pocket, really. I've always, when I was younger, I never carried a gun, but I always carried a knife. Job I had back then was an IBM computer operator. This is back in the days of the old mainframes. And I always carried a dagger like this. And in the early days, I carried it as a boot knife. And this is a boot sheath. Specifically, this is for a knife called a Western. Well, I don't have the Western anymore, but this one, I don't even remember what brand this is. I bought this years ago because the one that was in here broke. But this sheath, I love this style sheath with two pieces of leather, and it's riveted together with the steel backing plate with a clip that'll fit just fine on them. I used to wear black biker boots, you know, the black square-toed ones with a ring on the ankles, and carried a boot knife in it. Now I carry it in my side pocket. Well, when I worked as a computer operator, I used to carry it on my belt, and there's a reason for that. One of the jobs that a mainframe computer operator did was what's called dispatch. And dispatch means, back in the day, people would run their programs through the computer in what are called batches, or batch processing is what they called it, which meant you're doing something for accounts payable, you're doing something for student grades, you're doing something for a sociology class, you're doing some statistical analysis for who knows what. So each one of those is a job, and the jobs are run in batches. So you had a run queue that you would run through the computer. It would do whatever the computer needs to do to it, and then shoot the output out into the output queue. Well, that output queue would then go to a 1401 impact printer predominantly, or to some card punches, or well, there's other things. There was a CalComp plotter that we had for, I worked with one guy doing plotting radio galaxies. That was an interesting job. But anyway, on the main 1401 printer, when it would print out a batch or a program, it would end it with an asterisk printed right along with perforation. This is on 8.5 by 14-inch paper, fan fold. So you'd go to the output bin on the printer and look for those asterisks, and then you would take the, they had like a paper cutter right there on the printer, but I always use my knife, and I just go like that and cut off the paper, take it, and then separate out each of the programs and say, okay, this one says, you look at the job card on the front of it and say, okay, this went to bin 22, 45, 16, 38, like that. And basically make like the sorter at the mail room, sorting out mail. And then they'd go to the other side of that bin and pick up their output. That was kind of cool because in a university, I was working in a university, a lot of the people picking up their output were these cute co-eds. So, you know, that was the... I don't get it. This thing just keeps stopping on me. Oh, God, come on now. You stay. I don't understand this thing. I don't understand computers. I don't understand cameras. Well, modern computers. I knew, like I was saying, I worked in dispatch. Well, I worked every aspect of a computer operator, but we rotated in through dispatch. And as I said, there was an incentive because it was a university, and half of the output was being picked up by cute co-eds. And that was, you know, the fringe benefit of working there, at least to the guys. And we were all geek hippies, and those girls wouldn't have a thing to do with us, so at least we got to look. Anyway, my point is that in my youth, I used to carry a knife. I didn't carry a gun. No guns in this one. These days, I carry a Ruger LC9. Technology makes up for what nature used to provide, you know. Anyway, not much to talk about today. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention. About 2 videos back, I mentioned that, you know, YouTube occasionally does wackiness to the to the subscribers. I don't understand why, but they'll just drop subscribers off of you all the time. Well, I mentioned that, hey guys, take a look and see whether or not you're subscribed, and if you don't mind, resubscribe if you lost out, if somebody turned you off. And I heard from several friends who said, yeah, I seem to have been unsubscribed, and I put it back. Well, I looked, and my subscriber count just went up by 7. 7, bam, like that. And I thought, well, that must be because I told people to come back. And I looked at the subscribers, and well, yeah, that's what happened, Well, so if you've been unsubscribed and you just happen to see this somehow in your feed, or just happen to check, resubscribe. And if you're not a subscriber, well, you can, just a thought. And like I said, because YouTube seems to have a real problem with us gun tubers, I post to Rumble, Bitchute, Odysee, and Playeur / Utreon, which is it's sort of like Patreon, but I don't post there for subscribers only, or backers only. If you'd like to back me, go to Utreon, excuse me, Playeur. That's called Playeur too, and you can back me there. But I'm not. Everything's open to everybody. I don't know how to play that game, so I don't know. I don't understand it, and I don't really want to understand it. But anyway, I try to keep my knife sharp, and I just thought I would mention it. My cousin just taught me the best way to sharpen a knife, and for years, my dad used to sharpen knives to the point that you could shave with them, but I never could gain the knack of how to do that. The reason is simple, by the way, because I used to do it like this. And that would sharpen it up some. But what you really need to do is this kind of circular pattern when you're sharpening. And that really works. It really works. Then after you're done with this, get a leather and strop it. I haven't done that yet, so, it's going to be sharp, but a little bit wiggly on there, because that's what stropping does, is it realigns the blade so that it's no longer slightly jagged, it's now straight. So this is sharp but jagged at the moment. Just great for cutting paper. Or slicing a salami, Anyway, not much to talk about today. And if you, as you can see, I'm surrounded by guns. Well, I don't know if you can see. I can see some up there. See? Guns. Guns. I got lots of guns. If you want to see something about a particular gun, leave it in a comment. Happy trails.